Welcome to the show. Today we're diving into something pretty unsettling, the hidden reality of surveillance in places we think are safe. We've got 3 true stories for you. Stories about finding hidden cameras, about trust being completely shattered, and that chilling feeling, that someone might be watching. These aren't just campfire tales, they're real accounts, mainly drawn from the Mr. Nightmare YouTube channel, specifically their True Hidden Camera Horror Stories series. We've picked out the core details to really convey the dread.
Yeah, and it's important, I think, to look beyond just the shock value. What really strikes me is the deep psychological impact, how that feeling of safety just vanishes. And there are practical things too, like the tech involved, the legal side. It often leaves victims feeling really powerless. So we'll unpack the events, sure, but also what they mean.
Okay, let's start. First story, it involves a dog sitter. Puts a really disturbing spin on what sounds like a normal gig. So imagine you're, say, 22, just out of college, trying to find some work. You get this offer to dog sit for a guy named Craig.
Sounds typical enough so far.
Right. He needs someone to stay over at his house for a week, look after his golden retriever, Max, who apparently has anxiety. The pay's pretty good, too.
And that can sometimes lower your guard, can't it? The good pay, the convenience.
Exactly. So she meets Craig. He's maybe late 40s, seems okay, maybe a little too friendly, but not like alarm bells ringing immediately. His house is kind of dated, edge of town. The guest room is right off the living room. First couple of nights, totally fine, walks the dog, house is quiet, routine. Then, night 3, she's just sitting on the bed, scrolling her phone, and something catches her eye. An alarm clock on the dresser.
Okay.
But it looks new, black plastic, bright blue numbers. It just stands out in this older room. So she looks closer, and there it is. A tiny, perfect black pinhole right above the numbers, angled straight at the bed. Her stomach just drops.
The classic hidden camera clock. They're designed precisely for that to look innocuous. Everyday objects. USB chargers, smoke detectors, you name it. That pinhole lens, tiny as it is, can capture video, sometimes audio, stream it, record it. The moment you realize what it really is, it's an instant violation, total invasion.
Absolutely. She picks it up. It feels heavier than it should, and there's this faint buzzing sound. She's staring at this tiny lens, and right then, Max the dog lifts his head and starts whining. And she hears a door close, but not the front door, somewhere deeper in the house. Craig's not due back for days. It's only Wednesday. She freezes, her heart's pounding. Then she hears footsteps. Slow. On the carpet, coming down the hall. She quickly puts the clock back, manages to lock the bedroom door just as the footsteps stop right outside. It's Craig's voice, calm at first. Says he forgot something in there. Then it changes. He claims the clock is a motion sensor for the dog, an excuse for why it's there.
Textbook gaslighting, right there.
Yeah.
Trying to make her doubt what she clearly saw. Oh, it's just a motion sensor. It's a desperate attempt to regain control, to normalize the creepy behavior.
It's chilling. She doesn't answer, doesn't make a sound. His knocking gets louder, turns into pounding. His voice gets sharp, angry, yelling to open up, threatening to get the key, call the cops, claiming she broke in.
Flipping the script entirely.
Yeah. Max is going crazy, barking. Her hands are shaking, but she manages to unlock the window, struggles a bit, climbs out, runs across the yard, down the driveway, calls her mom, just gets out of there.
And the aftermath is so tough. Safety first, obviously.
Yeah.
But the lawyer saying it's your word against his without the actual device. That highlights a huge problem. These cameras are cheap, disposable. Getting proof when you're traumatized and just want to escape, it's incredibly difficult. Leaves you feeling helpless, paranoid. That feeling can stick around for a long, long time.
Such a violation. Okay, next story. This one involves an Airbnb. Supposed to be a nice little getaway for a couple, Joe and Emma. They find this place cheap, good reviews, looks charming, like a storybook. There's just one note in the listing. The basement storage room is off limits.
Which isn't that unusual for Airbnbs. Hosts often keep personal stuff locked away.
Yeah.
But yeah, in hindsight, it can be a detail that matters.
Totally. So they get there. The place is a bit more rundown than the picture suggested. Pretty isolated, only one other house nearby. The host, Alan, is there waiting. He's tall, kind of hunched, thin gray hair, has this smile that doesn't quite feel genuine,
That slight unease.
His voice is friendly enough, but there's an edge when he points to the basement door near the kitchen, taps the heavy padlock, says it's his storage, no reason for them to go down there. And he's not smiling when he says it.
Explicitly drawing attention to it, reinforcing the boundary, sets a tone.
Yeah. That night, it's dead quiet. Except they hear this faint, dull thud from downstairs, from the basement. Next night, they'd been hiking all day, exhausted. Around 2 a.m., they wake up to a dragging sound, like something heavy being pulled across a concrete floor. Stops. Starts again. They whisper about it. They both heard it.
Not just random house settling noises then, something more deliberate.
Seems like it. The night after that, footsteps. 4 or 5 steps, then a pause, then maybe 3 more. The pauses feel long, like someone's listening. Emma whispers she thinks she hears breathing.
Wow, that's calculated, building the tension, making them feel watched, unsafe. It's psychological pressure before the final reveal.
By the 3rd morning, the whole place just feels heavy. Joe checks the basement door, still locked tight, but now he smells something. Stale, damp, kind of sour coming from under the door. That night, more noises, metallic clinking around midnight. Then footsteps again for almost an hour. Emma's barely talking by this point, just wants to sleep, or pretend to. Night 4 is the breaking point. Emma's lying in bed and asks Joe, "Does the smoke detector above the bed look weird?"
Another common hiding spot.
Joe gets up in the bed to look closer, and, yep, small, round, black dot. Shinier than the plastic around it, a lens. He grabs a chair, unscrews the smoke detector cover. Inside, a small camera, battery-powered. Little green light is on. It's recording.
Active recording, not just passive potential.
And then they spot another one, a tiny lens poking through a small hole drilled in the wall near the dresser mirror. Both cameras pointed right at the bed.
Unbelievable. Smoke detectors, things meant for safety, turned into surveillance tools. And these things are so easy to buy online, cheap too. A quick tip for anyone listening. Shining your phone's flashlight around a dark room can often catch the reflection from a hidden lens.
That's good to know. So Joe and Emma, they just grab their stuff, throw it in bags and get out. Drive to the nearest gas station, call the police. Officers meet them, go back to the house. They find the cameras, the memory cards, recording gear, and that basement door, the one Alan padlocked.
Let me guess. Open?
Wide open, the cops go down, and they find Alan hiding in a closet in the basement with a monitor, watching the live feed from the bedroom cameras.
Hiding in the basement with a monitor. This isn't just voyeurism. This is planned predatory behavior.
Yeah.
Creating a whole surveillance setup in his rental. Like a massive breach of trust, especially for the whole idea of the sharing economy.
Yeah.
The fact that he faced charges, trespass, invasion of privacy shows how serious it is legally. But the damage to trust is immense.
Truly disturbing. Okay, our final story hits even closer to home. It's about a roommate. A betrayal right where you should feel the safest. So this guy, let's also call him Joe, moves into a 2-bed apartment with Eric, someone he found online. Eric seems okay, quiet, polite, maybe a bit awkward, but no major red flags.
Right, they often don't seem overtly threatening. They blend in, which makes a betrayal even more shocking when it comes out.
Exactly. They have opposite work schedules, so they barely even see each other for the first couple of months. Eric mostly keeps to his room. Seems fine. But then, Joe starts noticing little things. Things in his own room, like his closet door is slightly open when he knows he shut it, or his desk chair seems turned, just a bit, towards his bed.
Subtle changes. Easy to dismiss at first.
Yeah, he tries to brush it off. Maybe he forgot. But he gets this nagging feeling in his stomach, like someone's been in there.
That gut instinct again? Those small inconsistencies are often the first sign that boundaries are being crossed. It's so important to pay attention to that feeling.
Definitely. So one Saturday morning, Joe's cleaning his room, and he sees it. Up in the corner where the wall meets the ceiling, a tiny black dot. It's a small wireless camera, pointed straight at his bed. His hands are shaking as he pulls it down. It was just stuck there with adhesive tape.
Oh.
And the memory card slot, empty. The card is gone. The realization hits him like a ton of bricks. Eric, he's the only other person with a key with access. Joe feels physically sick thinking about everything, all the private moments.
And the missing memory card is key there. It means Eric wasn't just potentially watching live, he was actively taking the footage, reviewing it, storing it. It implies an ongoing obsessive level of surveillance inside his own home. That's a profound betrayal.
Joe decides he needs proof, or at least he needs to see what Eric does. So he takes the camera and hides it in his own nightstand drawer, buried under some socks. A test. 2 nights go by and nothing happens. Then the 3rd night, it's maybe 3 a.m., Joe wakes up to a noise, a soft sound coming from his nightstand. He pretends to be asleep, keeps his eyes barely open, and he sees a figure bending over his nightstand. It's Eric, rummaging through the drawer. Joe's heart is absolutely hammering. Eric finds the camera, freezes for a second, then slowly turns his head, looks right at Joe, and says, "I know you're awake."
Chilling. Utterly chilling.
Yeah.
That direct confrontation, the lack of shame.
Then Eric asks, "What have you done with it?" Meaning the camera.
Wow. Not even remorse, just possessiveness over his spying tool. That's incredibly manipulative. He's confirming Joe's worst fears, but also trying to regain control of the situation. The psychological damage of that moment in your own bedroom is immense.
Fear just boils over into anger. Joe sits bolt upright, yelling, "Why? Why did you put a camera in my room?" Eric gives this pathetic excuse, claims he thought Joe was stealing from him. Joe points out it was aimed at my Betty. Calls him sick. They're yelling back and forth. Joe threatens to call the landlord, the police. In the heat of the moment, Joe grabs the camera, throws it hard into the trash can, thinking he broke it, tells Eric to get out and stay out of his room. Eric just stares at him, blank expression, then turns and walks out.
That blank stare can be terrifying too. No reaction, no remorse shown.
Joe doesn't sleep a wink that night, just waits for morning. When the sun comes up, he checks the trash can.
Well, let me guess.
The camera's gone.
Of course it is. And that just prolongs the agony, doesn't it? The evidence is gone. Eric's still there. The threat feels constant. It leaves Joe in this awful state of hypervigilance. The legal options are murky without the proof, especially with a roommate. That fear, the paranoia about other cameras, it can haunt you. Like Joe hearing phantom footsteps later on, the scars run deep.
Okay, so let's just take a breath here. 3 stories. Dog sitter, Airbnb, roommate. Wildly different situations, but that same core violation, the hidden camera in a private space.
Yeah, and what connects them is how frighteningly easy this has become. The technology is cheap, it's accessible, these cameras can be tiny, wireless. Though from a practical standpoint, there are things you can sometimes do. Like we mentioned, using a flashlight to look for lens reflections, or using network scanning apps on your phone to look for suspicious Wi-Fi devices transmitting video. It's not foolproof, but it's something.
Right. So what's the takeaway for you, for anyone listening, whether you're traveling, getting a new roommate, even just thinking about your own space? I guess it's about awareness, right? Being mindful of your surroundings, trusting that gut feeling when something seems off. These stories are scary, absolutely, but maybe they're also a wake-up call to just pay a bit more attention, check things out if they feel weird.
Vigilance, yeah. It's unfortunate we have to think this way, but it's the reality now.
These stories we shared, the dog sitter's terror, the Airbnb nightmare, the roommate's betrayal, they're grim reminders, aren't they? That sometimes the worst threats are hidden right there in plain sight, or just out of sight. Leaves you feeling vulnerable, makes you question everything.
Definitely. The loss of trust, feeling constantly watched, the fight for any kind of justice. It's heavy stuff. It really makes you think, doesn't it? In this age of easy surveillance, what does privacy truly mean anymore? And how much responsibility falls on us individually to constantly scrutinize our own environments? It's a tough question.
It really is. Well, thank you for joining us on this unsettling journey today. If these stories resonated with you, maybe gave you something to think about, we'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, share this with anyone else who finds these kinds of true stories compelling, and of course, subscribe to the Horror Docs channel for more deep dives into, well, the darker side of things. Until next time, please stay safe out there, and maybe keep an extra eye out for things that seem out of place. Goodbye for now.